Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the big problem with PS4 controllers, aka the Dualshock 4. And guys, I have to be completely honest with you all. My assumptions on this matter have been very wrong for quite some time, or at least they just appear to be wrong because everything that I've been reading and even my own personal realizations from experiments and testing have left me very perplexed about this. And you guys are wondering, what is this guy talking about? Well, today we're going to be discussing wired versus Bluetooth communication on the PS4. Now, I consider myself a pretty competitive gamer. I play primarily FPS games, and anyone who has ever been in a free-for-all lobby with me in Call of Duty knows I'm also a pretty aggressive player. I consider myself borderline enthusiast when it comes to my gaming habits and even my gaming setup. I got the scuff controller, the expensive headset, the gaming monitors, and a lot of people who are watching this video might be the same way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you all who are like me, I want you all to do yourself a favor and stop playing on a wired PS4 controller connection and utilize Bluetooth, because as it turns out, it's pretty much confirmed on paper and in my own personal accounts that certain models of PS4 controllers suffer from a pretty serious performance issue in regards to input lag when utilizing wired connectivity. And the thing is, I have never personally noticed this until I started using a wired connection on my new Scuff Vantage controller. Excuse me, not Vantage, Impact controller. And I don't think that I used to have this problem on my old controller, or maybe I did and I just didn't notice it as much, but either way, I felt like this was definitely an issue switching over to my new controller. So I began to do some research and then some of my own testing, and much to my surprise, there is definitely a difference. Now, the input lag problem happens mostly with a certain model number of DualShock 4 controllers, and that model number is CUHZCT2. Now, if you don't know how to view your PS4 controller model, all you have to do is go into the controller communication settings on the PS4, and it will tell you the exact model number. Here's an example on the screen. So, how do we know that this is actually happening? Well, all you got to do is a quick Google search, and what you're going to see is a lot of questionable complaints about DualShock 4 wired input lag, and even some dedicated tests that show just how bad it is. And apparently this has been going on for as long as 2017 and forward, and there is still currently no fix other than just use Bluetooth. Now, for me, this is very perplexing and very interesting because it pretty much goes against everything that I've studied in regards to wired versus wireless communication, because generally speaking, wired connections have always had a lower latency than wireless ones. And personally, I've always used a wired controller connection on PS4, and I've even recommended it in several of my own videos to always be using a wired connection on PS4 to reduce the input delay. Well, when I got my new Scuff Impact, I instantly knew that something felt very off for my old controller, and that's when I realized this problem for myself. And after switching to Bluetooth, it went away pretty much completely. And the problem was, it was almost like in my thumbstick. It felt like there was a dead zone, but what it turned out to be was actually input lag. So why is this happening, and what is causing this weird phenomena that somehow Bluetooth has a lower latency than a wired controller? Well, there are a few theories, and probably the most credible of them is polling rate. Now, polling rate is the amount of times a device communicates its position every single second. And as it turns out, DualShock 4 controllers actually have a higher polling rate over Bluetooth than on USB. Now, higher polling rates mean more updates per second, therefore less input lag. Hopefully that makes sense. So why the polling rates are not higher on USB, nobody knows. And that is probably the most interesting thing about this whole argument. So until further notice, ladies and gentlemen, I recommend everybody follow suit and utilize Bluetooth on your PS4 controller if you're experiencing weird input lag issues like I started having recently. So there you guys have it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found this information interesting. If you did, please comment below and let me know what you think. Also, leave a thumbs up rating on this video. It really does help me out. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Ring the bell for post notifications. I'll see you all in the next video. Boys.